we are going to cover simplifying expressions. Our learning target for today is I can write equivalent expressions. So simplifying expressions. What is an expression? An expression is a mathematical phrase that can contain numbers, variables, and operators, like addition and subtraction. So an expression will not have an equal sign, and an example of an expression would be 4x plus 2. You could have a million different expressions here. You could have 6x plus 7, you could have 3x plus 9. Anything without an equal sign would be considered an expression. Terms. A term is a constant or a variable in an expression, a variable like x or y. Terms are separated by plus and minus signs. Example, list all of the terms in the expression 6x minus 10y plus 13 plus 5z. So looking at that, everything that is separated by a plus and minus sign is a term. So my first term would be 6x. My second term would be negative 10y. My third term would be 13. And my last term is 5z. So coefficient. So the number in front of a variable in a term is called a coefficient. So circle all of the coefficients in the expression 14x minus 7x plus 10 minus 2x. So I want every single number that is in front of a variable. So my first coefficient would be 14. My second coefficient is negative 7. I need to make sure if it's positive or negative, I identify it correctly. My third and last coefficient would be negative 2. 10 is not a coefficient because it is not a part of a variable. Like terms. In order for terms to be like terms, they must have the same base or variable and the same exponent or power. So let's identify some like and unlike terms. So I have a list of terms here. I'm going to determine if they're like or unlike terms. Remember, a like term has the same variable and the same power. So my first one is negative 15x and negative 15. They do not share an x, so they are unlike terms. 1/4 c and negative 9c, they share a c, so those are like terms. 2.5x squared and 3.5x squared, they both share an x squared, same variable, same power, so those are like terms. 6y and 6x are unlike terms while they both have a variable. One is x, one is y. 30 and negative 25, these are both constants or numbers without a variable. These are like terms. 17b and 1/17 b, these are like terms. 10m and 10m squared, while they share an m, the same variable, they do not share the same power, so these are unlike terms. And 2.2n and 2.2, these are also unlike terms. Now we want to give an example of a like term for each term in the table. So I've given a list of terms. I want to create a like term. Just because you don't have the same like term as mine doesn't mean you are wrong. You can have an infinite amount of like terms with one term. You just want to remember that it has the same variable and the same power. So 14y, a like term could be 7y. Negative 9x, a like term could be 6x. 15b squared, a like term could be negative 2b squared. 55, like term could be 44. Negative 23xy, like term could be 22xy. Negative h, like term could be 2h. 2m cubed, a like term could be negative 6m cubed. And 200, a like term could be 301. Looking at simplifying expressions. So we can simplify algebraic expressions by combining like terms. Be careful when you are combining terms to check the sign that is in front of the term, because if it is positive or negative, I want to be careful with that. So practice simplifying expressions in each problem below. So a group of friends went to the movies and bought the following tickets, drinks, and popcorn. Write an expression to represent their purchases. So if I list out everything that I was purchased, right, I have 2 popcorns to start, plus 1 drink plus 2 tickets plus 1 more drink plus 2 more tickets plus a popcorn plus 2 tickets plus a 1 last drink. So now if I combine all of my like terms, I will want to add all my popcorns together, all my drinks together, and all my tickets together. Notice there's 3 popcorns total, so that would be 3p. I have 3 drinks, so that would be 3d. And lastly, I have 6 tickets, so that would be 6t. So my simplified expression would be 3p plus 3d plus 6t. Number 2, 13r plus 5r plus 2n. So I want to combine everything that has the same variable and power. So 13r and 5r I can combine. 13 plus 5 is 18r. My 2n will just stay 2n because I cannot combine r with n. Number 3, 1.6w minus 1.2w plus 3.5 plus 4.7w. So I want to combine my 1.6, my negative 1.2w, and my 4.7w. So 1.6 minus 1.2 will be 0.4w. I will add that to my 4.7w, and then I still have my 3.5 left over. 0.4w plus 4.7w is 5.1w. And then I have my 3.5, which I cannot combine because 3.5 does not have a w. So my simplified expression would be 5.1w plus 3.5. Number 4, I have 1/3 x plus 15y plus 2x minus 5 and 2/5 y. So I want to combine my negative 1/3 x and my 2x. Negative 1/3 plus 2 is 1 and 2/3 x. Then I want to combine my 15y and my negative 5 and 2/5 y. 15 minus 5 and 2/5. 15 minus 5 is 10. And then 10 minus 2/5 would be 9 and 3/5. So I'm going to add 9 and 3/5 y to my 1 and 2/3 x. So my simplified expression for number 4 is 1 and 2/3 x plus 9 and 3/5 y. Number 7, I have negative 1.2k plus 3.9 minus g plus 0.5g plus 7 plus 0.3k. So the first I'll combine my k's. So negative 1.2k plus 0.3k. So negative 1.2 plus 0.3 would be negative 0.9k. 3.9 and 7 will combine to 10.9. So I'll add 10.9. And then negative g plus 0.5g, so negative 1 plus 0.5 would be negative 0.5g. So my simplified expression would be negative 0.9k plus 10.9 minus 0.5g. Now for all of these simplified expressions, I can write them in whatever order that I choose. It is proper math to write them in descending order of the power. So the highest power would go first, followed by the second highest power and the third highest power, so on. And it's also proper to list the variables first as well. So negative 0.9k plus 10.9 minus 0.5g is perfectly fine. I could have also had negative 0.9k minus 0.5g plus 10.9. That also works as well. The order does not matter. Number 9, simplify an expression for the perimeter of the equilateral triangle. So again, I have the perimeter, which is adding up all of my sides. This is an equilateral triangle, so that means all of my sides are congruent, meaning the same measure. So each side is 3/4 x minus 9. So I can say 3 times 3/4 x minus 9. Now this is the distributive property, so I can distribute my 3 into my 3/4 and into my negative 9. 3 times 3/4 is 9/4. So 2 and 1/4 x, and 3 times negative 9 is negative 27. So my perimeter is 2 and 1/4 x minus 27. In this lesson we learned to simplify expressions, we add or subtract like terms or terms with the same variable. That's a wrap on this video. We'll see you in the next one.